lots of sex appeal, that energy, and he's very drawn to her. He's gonna see her and be like, oh, she's gorgeous, she's like Venus, you know. And him being drawn to her, he's gonna find out about her. I think he might see her on social media, and then he'll send people to kind of spy on her, and he'll send her something, which is very risky. But you know, if it works for him, it works for him. So with Three of Swords being his well-being, he's got a lot of work to do on himself. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, doing work on yourself can be so fun. He has to learn how to grieve and to just let it be. I think he likes to overfix things. Even with One Direction, I see him trying to fix everything, like be the glue of the group. But he also has to accept he might be the middle child. That's our problem. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Hallie, so grateful to have you all. I am going back to longer format videos, so I will have 5 celebrities predictions, forecasts for 2025 in this video. It just helps me with editing and so forth, so I will have timestamps. I promise I will have timestamps in this video. Yeah, and it just helps me out big time because I have a lot of other things I do, not just videos. I love making these videos, but it's going to help me with editing and so forth. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please like, comment. I would love to have to say, and please subscribe. Yeah, it says about 65% of you watch my videos and who are not subscribed. So please try subscribe. It really helps me out. I see my subscribers have gone up a lot recently, and I'm really grateful for that. Let's continue to grow. I am hoping to grow this channel and community. So let's get into it. I'm starting with Selena Gomez. Her sun is in Cancer. I'm recording this the day before the full moon, and I really feel like energetically something has been going on. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the almost holiday season. People start to act weird, but I've noticed a lot of weird energy going on. But anyways, maybe it's that. Comment if you feel like you've experienced the same. I'm using the Lycius Tarot. I love this tarot deck. It's like I said this before, I've had this for a very long time. For 5 years I've had this tarot deck. Okay, so I pulled her career, love, and her well-being, and for her career I got the Emperor. So I get the strong feeling that there's somebody who wants to help her. I have picked this up before. I said there'll be a lot of changes, and I was accurate about that. Go back and watch my Selena videos. I've been accurate a lot about Selena Gomez, so check that out. I always tell you guys this, my jam is reality TV, so I don't know too much about celebrities unless one of my friends is into it and she sends me stuff. But other than that, I don't really keep up with it. I keep up with reality TV, that's what I keep up with. So if it has come out, I don't know about it, but I did say I see her moving her offices to Hollywood. I see like a Hollywood building. I see white. I see flowers. You know, like, oh, so pretty. I'm just getting an image right now. Like white, but like expressions of flowers. Very pretty. And delicate. Very soft and delicate. I love stuff like that. Because I'm very girly. So I see a man particularly helping her with this and giving her a lot of vision. I just got very tired, and I wasn't tired before. So I get that it's draining energy from her. It's becoming like, okay, I just want it to be done. I want it to be done. Because I think she's planning like a holiday, especially for the holidays. Now this is 2025. So I see here that this might take, she's planning a vacation to Europe. I think Italy. I see some kind of Italy, 9 of Wands, 2 of Swords, something. Because things are not going well with Benny, which I did predict too. So check that out too. So with her love, bring us to Benny Blanco, 5 of Wands. She kind of feels, and I can relate to this a lot. A lot. Okay, I only mention personal stories if it pertains to the situation, because I'm empathizing with her, and we do that through our own story. So I have dated 2 celebrities, right? 2 famous people. And one of them was a sweetheart, an absolute, I wish him only the utter best. And people are like, oh, why aren't you with him? I'm like, just because somebody's nice does not mean you should stay with them. That's not the purpose of that. But anyway, so I feel as though she's having a tough time. Even though she's famous herself, I can empathize. I'm not famous, but I can empathize with this. But it's almost like he puts her last, you know? And I'm only mentioning the story about, and I don't want to expose him. He deserves to remain, he is in the public, but his name deserves to be private, attached to me. Because I'm only mentioning this because I felt very similarly, and that's why I broke up with him. I felt second, you know, and it's not easy being the partner or the other of somebody who has a lot of things to do, who has a lot of people to see, who's going through a lot in their life, and she puts him first and he doesn't put her first. And she feels like she has to beg for his attention. And especially women, we do not like that. Some women, I feel like, can deal with it if they are superficial and they're in it for the wrong reasons. But if you're in it for love and respect and common, I would say, mutual decency, it's not going to go down very well. There is going to come a time when you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm lost, you know? He has a lot, especially this upcoming year. He's going to have a lot on his plate, and he's just going to keep stacking it up, and she's going to be like, hey, what about me? What about me? What about me? And the relationship's going to crumble. I get February. Now, time is fluid, so I don't know exactly for sure, but I got February, which I'm usually accurate, but doesn't mean I'll be accurate here. Yeah, so that's what I get. And I feel bad for her because I feel like she, as an empath, and this is something I've had to learn in therapy and growth, that just because I feel sorry for somebody doesn't mean that I should be with them. And the therapist once told me that, and I was like, what do you mean? I don't date people that I feel sorry for. You know, lots of therapy that I've had, people have told me things and I'm like, that's not true. And I have to be like, no, honey, sit with it. It might be true, you know? So I strongly see that she gives a lot, and she puts the other person first, even when they're not with her, and she feels kind of empathy, she feels sympathy. She's a very empathetic person, but when you have to be careful that you don't end up dating the person you feel sorry for, you know, because then you're coming in with unequal responsibility, and the responsibility you have is more than they have. You're asking for less from them than you're giving, and that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So with 8 of Pentacles being her overall energy, she's manifesting something big, actually. Oh, she's manifesting a family. Oh, but it will happen. I strongly believe. I'm always rooting for Selena Gomez, even though I feel like people can be mean to her and stuff online. I'm always rooting for her because I feel as though she is really trying her best, and it must not be easy. That's why I've always defended Justin Bieber and all these Disney people, is that it must not be easy to be in the spotlight at such a young age and expect it to be perfect, you know? So yeah, I empathize with her a lot. I just feel like she's really doing the best that she can. That's how I really feel. Okay, so let's move on. Please comment. I would love to have to say. Moving on to Louis Tomlinson for 2025. I believe the sun is in Virgo, right? The sun in Capricorn. I know he's an earth sign. And I did predict he was going to go back to an X. Back and forth with an X. Okay, so I'm using Earth Woman Tarot, my latest deck that I absolutely love. I love this deck. So beautiful. Got it on Amazon. Okay, so lots of things going on. With King of Wands as career, I see here, I think, and I'm pretty sure that Liam's death has had a huge impact on him, to the point that it's made him, if you've ever lost somebody close to you, I don't want to say lost, but if somebody close to you has ever died, you go through so many emotions. You go through upset, you go through happiness for them, not happiness for them, excuse me, but you're just like happy that you ever met them and that you had them and you're in their life. And then you go through anger, you go through a lot of different stages, even one day. It's a lot, you know, so I have deep empathy for him. I can only imagine what he's going through. But right now I feel like he's in the anger phase, and he's transmuting that energy, transforming it into action. And the action that he wants to do is that he wants to do something with sobriety. I see that he might start like a foundation around sobriety, that kind of thing. And I get it. I had somebody close to me also, I don't want to tell their story for them or speak about them, but it really does affect you if somebody with addiction. I've had a few people around me that pass from addiction or things associated to addiction. So it can be very, very tough, and you do get very angry, and it's normal. So I think he's, like I said, I picture that he's transmuting that energy into something that has to do with sobriety. It's almost like, especially with the energy being the Fool, he wants to start completely again, anew. And with his music, with everything, it's like he's shedding his former self. I think was he closest to Liam? It seems like he was. I get the energy that he and Niall were closest. I don't know too much. I don't, like I always say, guys, I don't pay attention to celebrity stuff. You guys often send me stuff. But I see here that he was very close to him, and it's almost broken him, you know. But he wants to use this as, he wants to make it into the positive. He knows that it's devastating, but he wants to make it into the positive. But I would also remind him that he doesn't have to force positivity out of situations, you know. I think sometimes that's how we survive in chaotic situations, devastating situations, that we're always like, there's a light, there's a light, there's a light, so we don't lose hope, and that's totally fine. But also, we don't have to pressure ourselves to be perfect. We can grieve. And that's something I had to realize. When I recently lost somebody, I had to realize people grieve, you know, people go through things. You can be devastated. It's okay to feel different ways about a situation. You don't always have to be positive. So the King of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Seven of Cups. Yes, so he wants to turn this experience into something meaningful. And in honor of Liam, he's going to do something very powerful. Like, he's going to change his studio space. He's going to I see them putting up like an angel mosaic thing in London for Liam. I see that very strongly. So yeah, I do see him putting up something that embodies Liam's energy in London. Yeah, it's very beautiful. So with his love, Page of Swords, I see here that he has his eye on somebody. She's very statuesque. I get that. Her name might be Heather. I just got the name Heather. Doesn't have to be. Sometimes I pick up somebody's close to them, they have a Heather. But it's not this ex that he's been back and forth with. It's somebody new. And he wants to go in, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, Four of Wands. He wants to marry her. Wow. He wants to marry her. He's going to go in. And I see them having a future together. I think in April of the following year, 2026, they will get married. That's what I see very, very strongly. He feels very light around her. She might have like Taurus energy. She's very Venus, you know, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. She might dance. She's got a very feminine, lots of sex appeal, that energy. And he's very drawn to her. He's going to see her and be like, oh, she's gorgeous. She's like Venus, you know. And him being drawn to her, he's going to find out about her. I think he might see her on social media. And then he'll send people to kind of spy on her. And he'll send her something. Which is very risky. But, you know, if it works for him, it works for him. So with Three of Swords being his well-being, he's got a lot of work to do on himself. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, doing work on yourself can be so fun. He has to learn how to grieve and to just let it be. I think he likes to overfix things. Even with One Direction, I see him trying to fix everything, like be the glue of the group. But he also has to accept, he might be the middle child, that's our problem. As a middle child, I'll tell you that. But he always feels like he has to fix everything. And I encourage him to just learn that it's not up to him to fix things and to seek happiness. Wow, this love he's coming is powerful. He's going to be very happy and very in love. Wow, 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 wow. But once he focuses on himself, he's going to see her when he's focusing on himself, doing his own thing. You know, they always say that. That when you're focusing on yourself. And it will find you when you least expect it. Okay, so that's what I have for Louis Tomlinson. Let's move on to Gigi Hadid. I'm using the Muse Tarot. I love this deck. Gigi Hadid 2025. I'll pull up her career, her love, and her well-being. Okay, career, love, and well-being. So, Page of Swords. So I see here, you know, I think she's stuck in a rut, and she is a Sun in Taurus. For some reason, I have a soft spot for Gigi Hadid. Maybe because she kind of reminds me of when I was younger. And I just, because I was in a similar relationship that she's in with Bradley Cooper, also with the Capricorn. And I felt like when I was younger that I had to meet societal expectations, you know. My mother's also a lot like Yolanda, so I can relate to that too. Kind of being, in my opinion, being controlled by a motherly persona. But I feel like she's being very inauthentic. And I see here, energetically, her picking, like, scrolling social media and taking people's ideas from them. I don't know if it's been put in the past, like being publicized in the past, put out there, but I see her being accused of taking people's ideas, especially with design, because I did say she's going to come up with a design, furniture design, home design, decor thing. And I think I've never done this, but her personality type, the reason why I feel for her, and it's not the right thing to do, but I feel for her because I feel like she's under a lot of pressure to be perfect. And when you're under that kind of pressure, sometimes you do things. For example, I used to have a very bad eating disorder. I was very thin at some point because I felt like I had to be skinny, you know, in my family, my upbringing, skinny was perfect. So I felt like I had to be the skinniest version of myself to be accepted. And it's not okay, but that's an example of what I'm talking about. So with Yolanda, and you'll see even Yolanda, her mother, you'll see her kind of, she just reminds me a lot a lot of my mother. And with the food thing too, so I see why she feels pressured. I would never do this, but I see why she feels pressured to do things like this, to take other people's ideas, which she's going to be accused of very soon. This is intuitive based, it's not fact based, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were true. That's all I'm going to say legally. That I see some kind of being inspired, but inspired almost to the point of the image looks almost exactly the same. It's very sad, actually. So let's get clarification on this. I get around April of 2025, we're going to hear about like copying design. It's going to be a big scandal that comes out. And I think that's when she's going to break up with Bradley. Yes, so she feels, let me not say she feels because I don't know how she feels, but energetically I pick up this energy of I want to be my best, but I don't have the creative. I'm tired, I'm a mother, things are draining me, I don't have it in me, so I'm just going to take it from somebody else. And it's going to cause a lot of uproar. People are really going to go after her because they're going to think she's stealing, So with her love being 4 of Pentacles, I see her breaking up with Bradley, or Brad. It's weird to call him Brad. Bradley. He's never gone by Brad Cooper, which I find very interesting, actually. I see him breaking up with Bradley Cooper and focusing on herself. She's going to hit, after all of this backlash, there's going to be a lot of backlash. She's going to look at herself and just be like, you know what? Say to herself, I need to be alone. I need to be alone. And let me tell you something. I've been single for 2 years. I'm the happiest I have ever been. For some reason, especially women, we have this idea that being alone means that we're not worthy. It means people are like, do you get asked on dates? When I get asked how long I've been single, I say 2 years. And then I feel the projective questions. Do you get asked on dates? It's almost like it's a disease to be single. It's this contagious disease to be single. Do you get asked out? I'm like, yes, I get asked out. But I say no. Until that person comes along that I feel is worthy, I say no. And it is like this huge thing, especially amongst women, to be single. And I find it very sad. So I applaud her for being single, and I applaud her for working on herself, and I applaud her for looking within herself, for happiness and not expecting the other person to make her happy. I see her riding horses. I remember now in Beverly Hills she rode horses, right? But I see her riding horses, and her with her well, now she's like 3, right? The kid, or 4. But I see them out in the woods, out in nature, just taking things in and really appreciating life, And there's no better gift. No better gift. I almost want to tell you guys a story, but I'll save it for my personal story. So let me know in the comment section if you want to hear my personal story about why I decided to be single for 2 years. Well, it's been 2 years. Accidentally so, but yeah. So with her well-being being the sun, I see once she starts to work on herself, so much happiness coming. Like I said, being out in nature, hiking, taking some time, going to Europe, really just focusing on happiness and joy, which is so great. I'm really happy for her. Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the Fool, creating a completely different path from the one she had before. And I always say this, every time, for some reason, when I have a Capricorn close to me, or whether it's a friend or it's a relationship, like a romantic relationship, they always teach me big lessons. Because, and Bradley Cooper's a Capricorn, and I'm gonna get to my point, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of lessons. And whenever I have one close to me, I think it's also because they're very stubborn. Capricorns are very, very stubborn. I have yet to receive an apology from the Capricorns that have done me wrong, which I feel I'm owed, but that's another story for another day. Because they can be so stubborn and unwilling to look at themselves. Personally, it's forced me to look at myself. And I see the same for her. You know, I had a relationship with a man very similar to Bradley Cooper, older than I was, also Capricorn. And he would never say sorry. I wouldn't say I constantly said sorry, but I apologized enough times. And I didn't apologize to receive an apology. I just apologized because it was the right thing to do. But I had to let go of the idea that he was going to say sorry, because it was taking a toll on me. And I think that's what she's going to do too. She's going to realize that he's not going to change, you know. And that's the struggle I've had with a lot of Capricorns in my life. They can be very stubborn in their ways, and they often don't change from what I've seen, which is very sad. But every sun sign has its pros and its cons. Okay, so let's move on to Travis Kelce, the Sun in Libra. For 2025, I'm using Pixel Soleil Tarot. Let's see. Career, love, well-being. Okay, so with this career, the moon, I get a lot of secrets. Let's see what the secrets are. I am getting some imagery of the secrets. But I see him thinking that he is not good enough, that he could be better. And you know, somebody did say that the other day. I was talking to somebody and I wasn't really saying anything, but they were telling me, they were like, oh, what do you think about this Taylor Swift relationship? And I was like, I think it's fake, you know. I think it's very PR driven. Not necessarily fake. I think it started off being something, but they've prolonged it. Just for my many reasons that I've said on this channel. Go back and watch my other videos if you are inclined. And this person said to me that, yeah, he's not even that good of a football player. And I was like, oh, really? I did not know that, because I don't know anything. Sports is it goes through one ear, comes straight out the other. I don't know, especially except for tennis. I love tennis, but when it comes to other sports, and soccer, because I grew up in a culture that loves soccer / original football. But when it comes to American football, I do not know anything about it. So when that person said it to me, it's actually a man said it to me, I was like, oh my, I did not know that he's not that good of a player. He was like, no, he's not. And I see that now. It just came up right now. The High Priestess, the Magician, and Six of Cups. It actually wasn't the other day. It was a long time ago that we had this conversation. That I had a conversation with this guy. And he said, he's a football fanatic. And he said to me, yeah, he's not that good of a player. This was actually, I think, last year he said this. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting. So I think a lot of his insecurity has stemmed this contractual relationship. I strongly believe it's contractual. Disagree with me all you want in the comments. I don't care. That's what my intuition says, and that's what I'm sticking to. So he has wanted to come across as a superstar, but I feel like and trust me, I don't know about football, I'm just picking the energy up. His skill is not there. His skill is not there as much as he wants it to be. You know, it's just not. So with his love, and that's his insecurity, and that's what's keeping him in this relationship, this PR relationship. So with his love, 8 of Swords, I see him ending things. I think things have already been ended, like I've said before. I was right about the Joe thing. I said that they broke up. If you guys remember, if you were around It was 2 years ago. I cannot believe it was 2 years ago. That's crazy to me. That I predicted that she would announce a breakup around December, and I said they've already been broken up. She's going to announce it any day now. And I was right about that. This has been prolonged because people have caught on to the fact that it's not real. And he is ready. He's ready to be free again. He's the kind of guy that's very player energy. A lot of his placements give player. And the player energy that he gives off, Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and Three of Pentacles, is he gives off this energy. And I was just talking to my friend. We're talking about Love is Blind, okay? And my friend, we were talking about, like, she said one of the characters of Love is Blind is, if you watch Love is Blind, Ramsey. So her opinion of him was that, oh, he seems like a nice guy. And I said to her, maybe I'm being jaded, but I've dated a man very similar to Ramsey's who tells you everything you want to hear, and they make you seem like they want a life with you, stability with you, which I see being Travis very strongly, but there are no actions to match it. So you set up your life, you do things, Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Three of Pentacles, but he never meets her because she's Queen of Pentacle energy, he's Three of Pentacle energy. Three of Pentacles is the beginning, you know? And she's going to have to realize that. And I think that's why they prolong this whole thing. Because they're like, maybe it can... what's the word that I'm thinking of? Maybe it can... what's the word? Why am I losing my vocabulary? But maybe it can become something. Maybe it can progress in a romantic, but there's no substance. You know, he is on a different level than she is. And I actually might do a Taylor Swift Future Love reading, because I think it might be very helpful. But I always have said that the next man she's actually serious about, she's not serious about this, that she's really serious about, she's going to end up with. This is not a serious relationship. So with well-being being the Judgment, he has a lot of lessons to learn, a lot of growing to do. He's the kind of person, he's going to get married in his 50s, which is totally fine. Like, really, truly have a lot of lessons learned and stuff, because he has very immature energy. And it's okay, I'm not judging him. Some people just mature later than others. And it's better to know that than to get into a marriage and then just be a terrible husband. So he has a lot of lessons to learn, you know. And let's see, 5 wands, 2 wands, 6 of cups again. So yeah, he's got lots of lessons to learn, and a lot of his lessons require him practicing, you know, and require him being present in life, which I don't think he's had to do for too long before, but he will soon, especially once this relationship's over. Then he's going to be awakened by life, because it's not going to end well. Let me do my last reading, which is Normani. I've been so excited to do this reading because I've been accurate a lot about her past situation, what's going to happen, and so forth and so forth. Normani is so talented, beautiful, and I really wish her only the best when it comes to music. So let us see. Normani, career, love, and well-being. Her sun is in Gemini. Do you remember that? Okay, I'm using the Star Chart Tarot for this. Interesting. Okay, so with her career, King of Wands, she does have a new manager, and this manager is very to the point, which is what she needs. She's going to get ready for a new album, a lot of good things coming her way. 2025 is going to be a wonderful year for her. I wonder what year she was born. 91? She was born 91. But a lot of good things are coming for her. I only say 91. No, 92, perhaps. Because 3-3. I see it being a lucky year for her. Very lucky. And usually our 33rd year. It's a very lucky year. Anyways, it is what you make of it. That's just what I thought. So I see this man coming and taking over her career, taking her under her wing and being like, listen, you need to listen to me. I know what I'm doing. She needs that. Geminis in general, I feel as though they need that. They need somebody to come in and say, you need to do it like this. You need to do it like that. Blah, 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 blah. And then they just do it. Because if they start thinking, it becomes too much for them to handle and then they give up. That's why a lot of Geminis start things and they don't finish. That kind of energy. Unless they have strong Mercury in Capricorn or even Mars in Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they can be very, they don't get things done, you know. So this person's going to come in and be like, listen to me. We're going to do this. And give her direction, guidance, and take her in the right direction. I'm very happy for her because she really, really deserves it. So let's see, what else is this person going to do? See, his name might start with an E. I get E being his name. Maybe first, middle, or last name. Yes. The only thing is she should stop mixing business and pleasure, because I feel like this person wants to mix business and pleasure, which is not going to be good for her. Because he's going to end up controlling her. He might be a Capricorn, Sun in Capricorn. So the Two of Cups, Nine of Crystals in reverse, Three of Crystals in reverse. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She must not date this guy. She's going to be tempted because I think he's attractive, or he has an attractive personality. He's very charismatic. But it will not go well if they end up dating. And not next year, but following years. It will not go well because he's going to control her in every aspect of her life. So she must just keep it business. In general, you know, I say that to women all the time, to people all the time, but women, we fall prey to that a lot. Business is business. Life is life. Well, business can be a part of your life, but don't mesh the two, because then you'll feel taken advantage of. So with King of Cups in reverse being the love, that's what I pick up strongly. I also see that there's an ex in her life that isn't very kind to her. He might come up with like an expose. I see him playing guitar. You guys probably know more than I do, because like I say all the time, reality TV is my thing. But I see him playing guitar and having long hair. Playing guitar, having maybe like dread type hair. And he seems very... This is the kind of people that I really... I'm not crazy about. People that come across as like love, peace, happiness, and then they're backstabbing you and causing you harm, you know, and who project their feelings onto you, which I found to happen a lot in the music industry. So this ex she has is very mean to her, was very mean to her, was very controlling, just not a... I don't want to say he wasn't a good person, but he didn't show her his good side. And he's going to come forward and say just a lot of things that are unkind about her. The media might suppress it, but he's going to have a very vengeful energy towards her. He might have a sun in Cancer. I'm not saying all men and sun in Cancers are like this, but he has a vengeance out for her. And I see him being a water sign, or having strong water sign elements to his chart. So with her well-being, the Emperor, she's taking control of her life, and she's also learning to delegate, which I think is very powerful. As she learns to delegate, it will really help her take direction and, like I said, take control, but also feel powerful. Learning to delegate is such a skill, because you don't have to take on everything yourself. It's something I've recently learned, and it's powerful. It's a powerful tool, because you don't feel like not everybody's against you, but we all need help, and we can only get help if we ask for help, you know. And sometimes people victimize themselves. I used to do this. I victimized myself and be like, well, if somebody really wanted to help me, they would show. But if you don't communicate that, how are they supposed to know? So she's learning to communicate what she needs from people, and it's very powerful. I'm very, very happy for her. It's going to be a very good year for her. She deserves it. Let's just say that. So that's what I have for you all. Please comment, please like, please subscribe. I am doing these longer versions now. I will have timestamps up, like I said before. Just helps with editing, and a lot of you have said you prefer this style. So I am happy to be doing these now. Please check out my tarot class. I do have tarot videos up weekly about learning tarot, so check those out. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.